feel like I'm dying every single day.
I never thought I was going to be sick. Why this is happening to me?
It was a traumatic discovery.
I'm just tired, and I didn't want to fight anymore. I knew I had high blood pressure. It runs rampant in both sides of my family.
Both my parents have diabetes, and my dad has high blood pressure.
I was suffering from chronic kidney disease.
I had kidney failure,
They found an aneurysm.
I started having the heart problems,
heart valve replacement,
Peripheral artery disease,
cholesterol.
diabetes.
A heart attack, a stroke on the table.
I was in the ICU for 3 days. Was told that I was lucky to be alive.
I have a kidney transplant, and I've had that kidney transplant next month for 48 years. I am an athlete at the transplant games. I was the last one getting out of the pool and sat for a minute or two and went to walk to the other side of the pool and just dropped. And that was it.
The doctor came and said, Miss Mercado, you had a heart attack. I was in shock. I didn't have no knowledge about the symptoms. Very common in the Spanish community. We're healthy. I think I'm doing okay. That was my knowledge. You always take care of the little ones, your family, and you forget about yourself.
I ended up becoming an amputee. Frostbite brought me to the emergency room, and in the emergency room they determined that, well, you've got frostbite, yes, but you also have peripheral artery disease. I was a bit embarrassed that I didn't know anything about it, and when I began to learn more about it, I realized that I had been suffering from the symptoms, but had not recognized those symptoms.
Felt like I was having heartburn, and it was just getting progressively worse. We get to the ER, and I was in excruciating pain. They told me that it was anxiety. It was 3 days later that I had the Widowmaker's heart attack. I was just so dismissed.
Being in a small town where there's maybe about 1,200 people, I made the decision that my kids are not gonna go without. And if that means that I can't buy blood pressure medication for 2 months, that's what it means. And there were many, many times they needed this or they needed that, or we just needed to eat.
About 15 years ago, I was diagnosed with diabetes. And that was the beginning of this journey that I've been on for better health. I changed my diet. I had oral medication. Then I ran into a period when I didn't have the same kind of health care or health insurance that I had previously had. I ended up backing up a little bit.
I retired a year ago, so my insurance changed a little bit. So I'm having those issues. The doctors don't talk to each other, they don't communicate, and I still having other issues with the blood pressure.
African Americans, we're very cautious, particularly with our trust. And our trust in medicine is strained. When you look at the history, the lack of access or experience, it sort of begins to add up to there's a distance, and it's a distance that we need to close. If we don't, then we just continue to have a very, very, very expensive healthcare system that's not terribly effective.
My primary, my cardiologist, my nephrologist, they're all connected. They can see each other's notes. So to me, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, everybody's gonna be on the same page. And I didn't find that to always be the case. For a long time, I didn't even see my nephrologist. I didn't worry about my kidneys. I'm like, I got bigger fish to fry. It's really this new cardiologist that said, Mitzi, those are connected.
It wasn't until I started working with the American Heart Association that I'm hearing CKM syndrome. This is what I've been saying for how many years now? Like, oh my gosh, we're finally being heard. And I remember just sitting there crying like, holy cow, we're being heard. I'm not crazy for thinking that this is all intertwined. And I just feel like for so many years I was told that I wasn't doing enough. It's not all my fault.